my personal belief that I've been suffering severe neglect in the care of the police here. So what I'd like to say is I am neurodivergent. I am prone to outbursts when triggered. That can result in vulgar stuff, things that are very out of character, things that trigger me are being overwhelmed by overwhelming force, having more than one person come at me at once, people giving me authoritative commands, things like that. But not once have I been suicidal since I've been here. I was interpreted as suicidal both times that I was at the police station. They put me inside of conditions that are really insane. Not once did I mention that at the hospital. The first time I was brought in, despite this, I was treated as a suicide both times. I think that's what treatment on my part. They left me under 24/7 lights. Fluorescent lights about as bright as this, and all I had was a jacket to cover my face. I have sensitivity issues. I wasn't able to sleep for the first 5 days that I was here. I asked for a shower. I didn't get one until day 5. I was asking, walking by were dismissive. The phones were non-functional. Something that was kept in the first two the buttons work, you can turn it on, but once you get through the commands, it doesn't allow you to dial out. So I was unable to actually call anybody for a few days. When you get into the main part of the prison, there's a jail. The group of phones can be turned on and off. The only one that works is the one farther away from the desk. And when you dial out, you're not able to always use the dial. I believe that was denying the ability to communicate with people, and that's led to confusion, inability to protect myself in the case. There was no blanket provided to me, so all I had was my jacket to cover my head, and like I said, I couldn't sleep. I was transferred to maximum security cell for no apparent reason. Urine was covering the walls when I got there. That took me 40 minutes to clean that up. And that's a block of wads of paper, so you believe that I could suffocate in there. I scratched it all off, but it was all toilet paper cramped from my vent. The inmates have been intimidating. The man below me practices stabbing while I'm there. So what I hear during my time, I get 1 hour out. The rest of them can't hear it down below. And the rest, you get the other inmates screaming, faggot, kill yourself. For an entire hour, we had somebody show up, and for an entire hour, they were playing the bass drum by thinking there's more. And so the conditions that I'm living in right now.
Wow, what a dramatic story. Flashing lights, eerie whispers, and a cursed phone that refuses to make calls. Sounds less like a police station and more like a low-budget horror flick. But sure, let's go with the idea that maximum security cells are given out like party favors, for no reason at all. And the grand finale? Inmates sharpening their stabbing techniques. Fascinating. Almost makes you wonder, did reality take a detour, or is someone just really dedicated to spinning a wild tale?
Excuse me, sir. What would you wish me to do?
I'm just putting this on record.
Okay. Are you almost done?
The laundry was collected.
Are you almost done?
Yes. The laundry was collected. The temperature dropped by 10 degrees. And if I hadn't saved my blanket, it would have been extremely unbearable. There are torturous things going on in this place. I think that there's induced suicide happening, or at least the attempt to. I am serious that this. I've been trying to call my dad. It was his birthday yesterday. I called him 3 times, and he wasn't able to pick up the phone. We've been trying to get that to work. That's about all I've got to say, and I'm familiar with you.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Ballinger, what would you like to do?
Second hand, please.
Well, discovery complete, sir.
You're very arbitrary.
Thank you. You're welcome. Discovery is complete. People have their witnesses available the 24th.
Police officers will do our best, Your Honor, but I have been in contact with them about their availability.
All right. Preliminary examination in person, September 24th, 2024, 9 a.m. before Judge Barr.
Any further treatment, if I'm left in this condition, I'm going to.
Bond will,
Professional immediately.
bond will continue. Thank you.
Andrew Childers appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Edward Rivers on behalf of Christopher Willis.
Christopher Willis. You're requesting an adjournment.
That's correct, Your Honor. I'd like to address bond conditions at the appropriate time.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned March 27, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond.
Regarding bond in this case, there are 2 counts of resisting that are currently charged. And one of the bond conditions, there was an individual that was present during the event that occurred. And one of those individuals, there was a no contact that was put the no go to. The person in question is his girlfriend that he shares children in common. And then since he was arraigned, he's been having to reside at a different location and have his mother and her mother assist with exchanges of the children just to get the kids back and forth. But they do reside together. They tend to stay together. There was no charge of domestic violence, and certainly the report can speak for itself, and the prosecutor can have their opportunity to give a statement. But I'd like the no go to provisions lifted. I like the no contact lifted.
Response. Your Honor, just for backstory, the facts of this case involved the defendant was attempting to rent a U-Haul. He was basically got into a disagreement argument with the person working at U-Haul who had his ability to rent it. They contacted the police because of the way he was behaving. As the police arrived on scene, as they were attempting to make contact with the defendant, he was arguing with someone, a female who may or may not have been his girlfriend. I'm not sure about that. She was basically trying to calm him down. Based on what the police reported, he shoved her away, and that's when the police were like, "We're gonna place you under arrest," and then he followed the police officers. So that's the basis for why that bond condition is there. That individual, he's not a victim on this offense. There was no assault and battery or anything charged out of that conduct. That said,
Yes, the classic misunderstood hero angle. The poor guy just wanted a U-Haul, but the universe was out to get him. Unhelpful employees, pesky police, and a girlfriend who had the nerve to step in. And now we're supposed to believe that shoving someone and fighting with cops was just a string of unlucky events. Sure, let's go ahead and lift that no-contact order, because why not take a gamble on what happens next? What could possibly go wrong? Clip 3. A rare moment of common sense. The defense lawyer really tried the old asterisk, but there's no official domestic charge asterisk trick, like that somehow cancels out the fact that shoving someone right in front of the cops isn't exactly a genius move. The judge, unsurprisingly, didn't fall for the bargain bin loophole argument. Bond conditions stay in place because, shocker, keeping people safe actually matters. What a concept.
Material witness.
He would be a witness, yes. And I think that based on those facts, while they certainly didn't lead to a separate charge, I would ask that the condition remain in effect at least for the time being.
If I just may add, Your Honor, I've been able to review the video. Everything was seen on body cam. That individual is here and present in the court today. Would be able to address the court if there's any concerns with contact.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that condition in place. Maybe at this time. The Washtenaw address is the U-Haul place, is that right?
That's correct.
Because I have 2 places. And so the let's see what they did. I mean, and I understand what you're saying, that there haven't been charges regarding a domestic. However, and maybe that's because of what was presumed to be her status, but theoretically, I guess, if the allegations of the people are true, there could be, at which then these conditions would go into place. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to sort of take the broadest sense of things. And so I'm not going to deny your request to change bond. That may change once the examination comes around and you are before Judge Moore, or at some point you can take another look at that. But given what I'm hearing today, I think the bond condition is appropriate given the circumstance. And so bond will continue closed should the bond condition denied. Court calls